Welcome back to our WarriorUp Smart Series. In this short video, we build on the last piece, protecting our head. In the first video, we practice using just one elbow, but it's equally useful to develop an instinctive reaction with two elbows like this. We introduce this in a later video, a technique called feign and storm, which includes some clever trickery to put the attacker at an immediate disadvantage. You're going to love it. So, just to recap, when defending ourselves, space gives us the greatest chance to avoid a whack in the face or even being grabbed. Remember, our reaction speed is a little limited to around 250 milliseconds. Even a seasoned boxer with all that slip roll would be hard pushed to break below the 200 millisecond mark. This means that your backing up move has to be an instinctive reaction, even if you think nothing bad is happening. It's worth making it a habit to always step back in potentially threatening situations. You know, even those close talkers. Just naturally back up and warn them to keep distance. Self-defense is as much about verbal as it is physical. And what could sound more caring than saying, hey, back up buddy, just getting over COVID. I don't want to give you my germs. Of course, they come forward again, then you know it's trouble. But that moment of stepping back has given you a little more reaction time to take evasive action. Either way, with our natural and effective elbow block, we've just learned, or as we'll discuss in a later video, preemptive strike. And there's something really clever in this stepping back technique. The retreat and shield put in two key scientific principles. Watch how my energy is moving back into my back leg and compressing like a spring. Scientifically, this is known as elastic potential energy. A bit of an unknown superpower right there. And this is why we call it the Smart Series. Because understanding the clever things your body is capable and designed to do boosts your belief system. And in a later video, I'll be showing more about the mindset and the human psyche when under the pressure of fear. Now, the compressed energy we built up here wants to go somewhere, and that somewhere is forward, driving my rear elbow into my attacker's jaw. Take a look how my hips rotate as I raise my heel off the back. This is called rotational force. So imagine combining these two together in your first elbow strike. The compression, the rotational force, that is going to be powerful and fast. Oh yes, sir. Simplified instinctive response. That's what this self-defense system is all about. So I release that energy along with my rear elbow and combine the hip rotation. Okay, so that's a pretty damn good follow-up strike. However, we never stick at one strike. Always practice at least two elbow strikes. And there is a neurological reason for that, but more about that later. Yeah, these puzzle pieces will just keep building and getting more and more interesting. That I promise. Always do at least two strikes, and it feeds nicely into the two principles of power, because look what's happening on my first elbow strike. After rotating, I've now compressed energy on the other leg, which will of course use to fire off my front elbow and also using rotational force. That's going to scare the living daylights out of your attacker. Even if you missed and they retreated back, they know they are now up against someone skilled. And if they're sensible, we'll back off and leave you alone. If it does land, then you can escape and get home safely to your family. Much later in the series, I will show you a highly effective strike that can cause an instant unconsciousness in your attacker. But let's now get on with drilling this shield and striking combo. We'll do this at an increasing rate of speed 5 times. The first one will be super slow. In fact, we call this place speed because we are literally placing our techniques, paying careful attention to being as precise as possible and focusing on those two principles of power we've just learned. Okay, let's now do the drill. Once again, I'm going to turn at this angle as it's much easier to follow. Okay, So the first one is going to be very slow at play speed, and we're just going to step back. 1. Really feel those 2 principles of power. Slow again. 2. Okay, we're going to take the speed up a little. 3. And a bit faster. 4. Okay, and finally as fast as you can go without injuring yourself. 5. Hopefully the kettle is now boiled and you can treat yourself to a nice cuppa. Or, if you're about to turn in, grab your toothbrush and of course, don't forget to floss. Repetition is the key to making this fast, powerful and instinctive. So habit stacking or anchoring to an existing habit will embed these life-saving skills for life. We've now covered 2 of the 3 principles of power. Imagine how powerful and fast you'll be once you get the 3rd. If you haven't done so already, then please subscribe so you don't miss out on adding more pieces of your WarriorUp puzzle. And do share with loved ones because we want every decent person to have an instinctive skill and get them out of trouble. See you in the next video.